Hello and welcome to United Pulse. A lot has happened over the international break, but talking point for today's episode are Ronaldo's interview, Gomes publicity, and the match preview. Talking about Ronaldo's interview, there are three main points everyone is talking about. Number one, Ten Hag cannot say we cannot win the league. There are a lot of ways we can take this. Some people agree with it, some people are criticizing. I honestly feel like social media these days is acting like Asian grandmother. They are trying to create story out of nothing. Whenever Ronaldo or people like Rio Ferdinand are going to make statements, are going to talk about certain things, people are always going to either be for it or against it. Even if the topic is neutral, people will always have something to say. And you can sit at any side of the table, but it is what it is, and it's not like we all are not thinking about it. We all are not talking about it. I don't believe that this is an agenda against Ten Hag, that Ronaldo has an agenda against Ten Hag. Because let's be honest, none of the fans are happy with the start of the season. Everybody has been criticizing that we have given Ten Hag 3 years and we have nothing to show for except for a few cups. So definitely, I personally put Ronaldo's interview with Rio Ferdinand as an interview with a fan, nothing more. Uh, him saying that Ten Hag cannot say that we cannot win the league, I personally think is the choice of words, how you choose to say it. And Ronaldo even explained it that, like, it's the mentality that we are coming with. If you want to be the best, you have to show the mentality. Of course, you are not going to win all the time, but it's about you having this mentality that you want to win. When at the start of the season you have already recognized that you cannot win the league, and you are content with being a mid-table or maybe getting the top four, then how the team is going to take it? How the players that you are coaching, players who you brought in this season and last season, who were looking to achieve something with United, with you, how are they going to perceive your mentality that are you not a winner? Or maybe you don't believe in the players. So, and this is what I am thinking when I put myself in place of Ronaldo, how Ronaldo may be seeing as a fan. Because, of course, as a fan, I don't want to hear this from my team coach that we cannot win when we have spent so much money, when we have when the owner seems to have given everything that you want. Of course, it's a process, but it's about choosing your words carefully. Everybody knows that we cannot win the league, but our mentality should be that we want to challenge. We want to show the fans that we want to win. It's not about winning or not winning, but choosing to believe that there is something we have potential in challenging. So I think it is just that, nothing more. The second point that he raised was everything needs to change at the club, and I don't think anybody will disagree with that. It's a change is coming, change is happening, but change has been happening since Sir Alex Ferguson left. It's nothing new. Every season, some things change, new players come in, but what needs to change is the whole infrastructure, the whole revaluation of the club from top to bottom, not just the players or a few members of the club, but also the facilities and whatnot. And that is what even the new owners came in and said. This was the project which Ineos sold to the fans, and maybe we have seen glimpses of it in this season, but there's a lot to be done. And I don't want to jump into a gun and say that like nothing is happening, or just because at the start of the season we lost a couple of games, it is all going downhill from here. No, because it's a process and the new ownership just came. I don't know how they're going to see it. Who knows? Maybe if they don't see progression on the field with Ten Hag, we will have a new coach. I don't know. Maybe they will trust Ten Hag and give him more time. I don't know. But that's the thing. We need to give Ineos some time. A lot of background staff have changed. We've got sportive director, technical directors. We've got new coaching staff came in this season as well. So maybe a lot of things are changing and we need to give it time. And that is what I think, even Ronaldo, if you listen to the whole interview about Manchester United, he also said that the future looks bright, but you need to give it time. So that is number two. And third thing is Ten Hag should use Ruud van Nistelrooy, Rio Ferdinand as legends for the club as they know the club. And for that, I feel like there's nothing wrong with it. But the thing which I want to highlight is using legendary players who played for the club, who have experience in playing for the club at the highest level and winning is always positive. But how you're going to use them is the most important thing. And we have to nitpick people who we are going to use and how we are going to use them. For example, Ruud van Nistelrooy, he came into the club right now as a coach. It's very different than how Rio Ferdinand was involved in the club, or how Gary Neville was involved in the club, or how Scholes was involved in the club. Gary Neville, Scholes, Rio Ferdinand, they are all pundits now. They are not coaches. They don't have experience as a coach. Gary Neville was a failed manager. Scholes, failed manager. So I'm not going to accept when Gary Neville and Paul Scholes come on the field and try to give coaching lessons to Ten Hag when they themselves fail as a coach. Brilliant players, no doubt about it, but coaching and playing are two different things. Ruud van Nistelrooy, on the other hand, has been a coach and brought him in as a coach. So it is only right if Ten Hag listens to him. And of course, if he brought him in, then his opinions would matter. Otherwise, he wouldn't bring him in. And I believe that Ruud van Nistelrooy is not the kind of a person who would just come in United's coaching staff just to be on the coaching staff and not being listened to and just sit on the seat and watch the game. So I believe Ten Hag would listen to him. Of course, Rio Ferdinand and Ronaldo made a little bit of joke about it, but I honestly don't care about it. And I feel like the advice that he gave was a very general advice. Anybody could say that. And we've been saying this since Sir Alex Ferguson left. Some people are for it, some people are against it, but it's about how you bring those players in the team, in the coaching staff, maybe as more like a guide, a motivator for the young players. Maybe bring Scholes and all for a few sessions to give them some pointers on technical stuff like that. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's just thinking outside of the box. But if you are bringing those players to give coaching lessons, then what's the point of having proper coaches with licenses who Ten Hag trusts, who Ten Hag brought by his wishes? So that's about it. Overall, I feel the main talking point from him was mentality, and that's about it. He feels like United should have the mentality to win, and that's what Ten Hag should be portraying, should be focusing on, should be portraying towards the fans so that fans believe him that he wants to win. So that's about it. But I don't think that we should be putting so much emphasis on what was said on that interview. Now, talking about Gomes, this is a very unusual one. The reason why I say this is an unusual one because I feel like it's just another random ex-player that we are associated with just because there was a break and people needed some talking points. Just like Greenwood, people have been talking about. He's gone. Move on. Yes, he's a good player. I wish him the best. He's doing really great. But that's it. It's over. Finish. I don't understand why we want to bring back Gomes and just because he's running out of contract. And the reason why I don't want to talk about it, and personally, if it is true, I don't want it to happen because he's just another average technical player. Nothing against him, but we need to move forward. We need to find players who are going to compete at the top level, who are going to push our first team players so that there is a competition. I don't think he can compete right now with Bruno Fernandes or even Mason Mount. If Mason Mount is not injured, he is actually technically very good and he presses. And I don't think Gomez will be able to compete with either one of them. And if he's not better than them, then why do we want him? Because let's be honest, our focus should be right now when we have two players in the same position doing really well, the third person we need in the same position should be the one for the future. Hidden gem. Somebody who's 17, 18 years old, somebody like Maino, who we know who is going to break into United's team, but we want to protect him. We don't want him to play day in, day out. But he's somebody who is going to be for the long-term future for United. I don't really want to bring in 24, 25-year-old bench warmer who is expecting to play day in, day out. And if not given chances, it will create more problems in the squad. And we have seen that already over and over again. So I really don't want the same situations which we had before in the club when players don't play. They start to create lobbies between themselves and then shit goes down. So that is something that I really don't want. Now, talking about the match preparation, we all know Rashford will play. He will start the game. Him coming on his socials, posting about his workout at the gym. Maybe it's a PR stunt to give Ten Hag some sort of support that he is working on his fitness. And if it works out, then fans will back him again. But honestly, I'm just tired of talking about Rashford in a negative way. I hope he can turn around his form as quickly as possible. As we really need our main players in form, and we really need players in form in those critical positions, especially in the wings, because we have suffered a lot because of our wings not being stable, not being consistent. Youngsters have to come up and showcase, but of course, you can't expect a lot from one player. It's a team game. We need rotation. We need players who are going to perform as a substitute and as starting 11 as well. During Ten Hag's pre-game press conference, he already stated that Rasmus and Luke Shaw won't be playing. They are still not match ready, but Ugarte is in the team sheet. The question is, will Ugarte start or will he be on the bench? It's a big question mark, and it's a big decision that Ten Hag needs to make. But one thing's for sure, this is a must-win game for Ten Hag. I don't care if we win 1-0 or we bang 7 goals. I don't care. We will play this game as a bang average team, but we win the game. Because in the end, we need those 3 points. We cannot lose any more points. Going forward in the season, it's not going to get any more easier. When teams are going to play more games, there are more chances of getting injuries. So right now, we can't lose any more points, period, regardless of injuries or not. We just can't lose any more points, especially against teams which are going to be mid-table or bottom half. So I just hope that we win the game regardless of how we play. And that's about it. That's all for now, guys. Until next time, GGMU. Thanks.